Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon FBA business for sale in the personal care niche. Created in May 2015, this business makes $3,546 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the business is 46073. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the businesses they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Lloyd, thank you for coming on here today. How are you doing?
Hi, Jake. I'm very well, thank you.
It's my pleasure to have you on here and discuss this business with me. But before we dive into the questions that I have for you, I'd like to run through a little quick summary of the business. Again, it was built in May of 2015, has a monthly revenue of $11,920, expenses of $8,373 to make for a net profit of $3,546, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are 2 Seller Central accounts, US and UK/EU, with 24 SKUs, domain and offsite content and files, social media accounts, and trademarks. Please note that inventory is not normally included in the list price. Further details can be provided to active depositors. Lloyd, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, sure. Being brutally honest, the actual e-commerce side of things came as a bit of an experiment, really. I'd been involved in an advertising and marketing background, so I'd been involved in building websites per se, but not necessarily involved in e-commerce sites and certainly not e-marketplaces. This particular opportunity arose from a product that I designed myself and experimented with product design, got the product manufactured as a sample, approved that sample, and then went ahead and got some manufacturing of that product range done. And I'd had a background in selling on the high street, but decided to try the e-commerce, e-marketplace route, specifically Amazon, to see whether there was any traction in the product range. So not necessarily a background in Amazon and e-marketplaces as such, but I had a fairly good knowledge of online selling and e-commerce as it was.
So when talking about this particular business, something that you mentioned was that this product was something that you designed yourself. So I'm sure you have some sort of personal connection to it. Why have you decided to sell the business today?
There's a very good reason. I'm involved in 3 other businesses. My time is becoming less and less available for this business. There's a sentimental spot with this business because it's actually selling a product that I've created and brought to market. But I can't dedicate the time needed now to further the sort of expansion possibilities of this product range and add to it. So really quite simply, it's a time issue, literally down to seconds that I've got available because my other businesses are where my focus is at the moment.
So that makes me wonder then, what does it take from you, the seller, the owner of this business, to maintain this business as is? How much time is involved?
An awful lot. I would say 2 to 3 hours a week I spend monitoring stock levels, sort of addressing anything that comes up from customers or from Amazon themselves. There's not a huge amount. I deal directly with the manufacturers as well, but that's on a sort of monthly basis. So yeah, I say between 2 or 3 hours a week I spend on this business. I could probably spend less, but I do like to sort of cross every T and dot every I.
So in those 2 to 3 hours, what are you primarily doing?
As I mentioned before, it's very much checking inventory levels, predicting inventory levels. I do go in from time to time and tweak listings based on sort of keyword searches that I do on a sort of fairly regular basis. I would like to spend more time on it if this was going to be my focus going forward, because I think greater success could be had through that. But as I say, that's the limit of the time I've got available for it at the moment.
Do you have any employees, anyone else helping you run the business, or is it only you right now?
No, it's just me. Previously, I started the business manufacturing in the UK. So there was a UK factory, and then there was somebody who helped me with putting together the shipments and things like that. But now everything's manufactured in China, and that factory basically handles all fulfillment from the point they get the stock order from me straight through to the Amazon FBA centers.
You also have an e-commerce site outside of Amazon built on WooCommerce, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I did invest significant sums of money into that in the very first instance, thinking that I could develop my own e-commerce site and that would be the core sort of sales generator. In reality, nobody can compete with the power of Amazon. So it quickly became obvious that, no matter how much money I spent marketing that site, Amazon would always sort of generate greater sales. As such, I've dedicated less and less time to that e-commerce site. However, it does still generate income without doing anything to it. For somebody who buys the business, who potentially can spend more time optimizing the site, marketing the site, I think there's some great sales revenue in that site itself as well.
And something else interesting to note about the website is that you have translated it for several European markets, correct?
Yeah, initially, I think we translated 12 different languages, including things like Polish and Swedish and who knows what. But it's now down to the core it's in line really with the Amazon marketplaces. So French, Italian, Spanish, German. Netherlands is an interesting one. Netherlands doesn't actually have an Amazon specific site. And we do 80% of the sales that still come through the e-commerce site are generated in the Netherlands. I think because there isn't an Amazon specific site there. So yeah, it's an interesting one. And that's actually with zero marketing in the Netherlands. But it just goes to show, if you invest in professional translation, the sort of benefit in the keyword optimization can follow. So yeah.
Do you have any other presence outside of Amazon, maybe social media accounts or an email list or something like that?
There's a small eBay account associated with this product range. It doesn't generate an awful lot of sales. I've got social media accounts, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram accounts in several different countries in the Europe and the US. Again, unfortunately, I just don't have the time to dedicate to developing those social media marketing channels. It's a real shame because I do feel like there's significant expansion opportunity there for the right person to sort of take hold of that and develop those marketing channels in line with boosting Amazon sales further.
Let's say that you do have time to focus on this business. What are the major opportunities for growth that you would focus on?
I would focus on certainly the marketing side of it, because at the moment, the only marketing being done is through Amazon sponsored campaigns. There's a whole plethora of areas I'd like to tackle if I was going to take it forward, from Google PPC through to, really sort of niche social media marketing, with a view to both, as I said before, developing the Amazon sales revenue, but also the sort of multilingual, multi-country e-commerce website that I've got at my disposal. Secondly, I think it would be great to introduce new products. I've sort of stuck with this product range from inception, and it was always my intention, if I was going to go forward, to expand the product range with sympathetically designed or sourced products for that range. So yeah, I think marketing and new products would be the core focus if I was going forward.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like this business has any potential risks associated with it that a new owner should be aware of?
I think 100% honest on that is that, everything gets copied in this life. I've no doubt that there is the risk that somebody could copy the product. It's fairly robustly supported by international trademark and design copyright. So I've done as much as I can and can afford to do in terms of protecting the product range. So there's the risk of plagiarism. There's the risk of, somebody not being attentive to Amazon's requirements. I'm very, very careful. I monitor all the seller metrics on Amazon as much as I possibly can, because, there is a risk that if you're not diligent with Amazon, you'll lose your place, certainly within algorithms. And also, there's potential for listings to be struck off and seller accounts to be struck off. So it's important that somebody taking this on appreciates that or understands Amazon's requirements in that area.
And trying to protect the brand is also why you've acquired the Brand Registry 2.0 status on Amazon, right?
Yeah, absolutely. In line with the trademark and the design copyrights, registering with the Amazon Registry 2.0 gives that extra level of protection as well for the brand. So it was important to do that.
Would you commit to a non-compete?
Absolutely, yeah.
And how much support are you willing to offer a new owner during the transition period?
I'd like to offer 30 days sort of immediate access phone support. Thereafter, another 30 days, so 60 days total online Skype, email support as well.
Are you open to negotiating on something like an earnout where potentially a percentage of the proceeds from the sale could be paid out in the coming months rather than all at once?
I'm open to it. It depends what the spec was on that, simply because, as I said, the main reason I'm exiting the business or wanting to sell the business is my time is very limited. So it would depend how restrictive that was on my time. But I would certainly be open to a discussion. I think the business is very fairly priced. So, I would need to keep that in mind as well.
Thank you very, very much, Lloyd, for taking the time with me today. I really appreciate it, and I've loved discussing this business with you. But before I let you go, my final question. If you're looking at this business from the perspective of a potential buyer, why would you feel like it is an asset worth buying?
I think it's got 4 years plus of successful traction. The new products that were recently introduced are selling and developing well. I think there's a great opportunity for somebody with a bit more time than myself to sort of expand in the areas I'm currently not addressing and really build this business and introduce new products to make this, who knows, a 7-figure business in the future.
Absolutely. And like we've discussed, the sales are consistent with this business, if not growing a little bit, and you have all of the protection in place on the brand and the products. I mean, it definitely seems like you've taken all the precautions to make sure that this business has a successful future here.
Yeah, I've protected it as much as I can. And as you say, sales are increasing, although not dramatically, but they are increasing with sort of additional marketing prowess. That could be quite an exciting opportunity for somebody.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Lloyd, for taking the time with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jake.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing page and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you, and you'll be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.